Hey guys, Camo Christian here, and I'm going to be responding to Pondering Taco. So here we go.
But, Camo, the first thing I...
Sorry.
Jeez. Sorry, I just woke up from a nap, finals and all that. But, Camo, the first thing I watched was your video, so I would just like to put the several...
Pondering Taco, just saying, but it's a little bit easier to, respect your opinion if you show your face in the video. It's not that hard to find out what you look like. You actually have a, video with you in it. Your face not blurred, so maybe the next response video, show your face if you want to.
points that you brought up when acceptance is too far, and actually tell you what the next step is probably going to be for our culture and accepting and all that. Okay, so the first one you brought up was incest, and the reason that is not going to happen is because the children created from an incestuous relationship are, by definition, at a genetic disadvantage.
Yes, you're right. And see, that's why I think that it's so crazy that people would say that they're fine with incest. I don't know if you checked it out, but I left the link in the description. It's to Mark Dice's video where people were saying that they were fine with incest. So that was where I was talking about that.
And if everyone started, having incestuous relationships, we would be putting the human race at a serious risk.
Yeah, but we're also, I mean, they would at least have kids. I mean, I'm not saying that's a good thing at all. I completely disagree with it. But they'd have kids with gay relationships, even though it's a very small percent of the population. It would still, I mean, still kind of mess up the population because they're not having kids at all. But we probably don't need too many more people, so that might not necessarily be a bad thing, but let's keep going.
Okay, the next one that you brought up, I think, was pedophilia. Now, that isn't never going to happen because
Actually, pedophilia is, in a way, legal. If you consider, I don't know what age you would consider pedophilia, but I would consider, 12, like a grown man having sex with a 12-year-old, I would consider that pedophilia, but technically, in some places in America, that is still legal. As a matter of fact, my grandmother was 14 when she got married to my grandfather, and he was 21. So, it actually has happened. You're saying it's never going to happen. It has happened. So,
every relationship that is acceptable is between consenting adults. Now, pedophilia,
well, like I said, it's not adults.
first off, by definition, is not going to be okay because one of the members is not an adult. And thus, because most of the time they don't know what they're going to be getting into, they can't give consent. Alright, so let's brush that off the table. That's never going to happen, buddy. That's never going to be acceptable.
It has happened, buddy.
Now, bestiality. Well, since that's an animal, that animal cannot give consent, and, I mean, come on, dude, it's obvious, it's not a human being, so, like, don't worry,
Alright, yeah, I understand. That was an extreme example, but yeah, it was more for humor. But I mean, I'm just saying, it's still, I mean, like, it was more to point out, like, what would be the next step, but she's about to answer that, so.
fucking your dog is never going to be okay, or seen as acceptable, alright? Let's get that off the table now. Okay, so now, and finally, the thing that will probably be the next step, well, the next thing that's probably going to actually become acceptable, my prediction at least, is polygamy. You know, being able to marry several people. And now, I don't know about you, you might find that kind of weird and unacceptable, but I'd like to point out that.
Actually, I find that kind of interesting that you would think that that would be their next step. Um, I actually do find that interesting, and to be honest with you, um, you know, I would be more fine with that than I would, a gay marriage or a child getting married to a grown man or a little boy getting married to a grown woman. I mean, either one. But yes, I mean, I actually find that interesting. Thank you for your opinion on that. That's
Bible, the Bible actually encourages polygamy much more than a monogamous, you know, marriage. So, yeah, that's just me, you know, turning down your little rant there so I could have my own rant from just waking up. Alright, have a good day. Pasta bless.
okay. So, yeah. Well, thank you for making the response video. I appreciate that you took the time. And seriously, I found that. I mean, I don't know if polygamy is going to be the next thing, but that certainly an interesting theory. But yeah, the guys. I will talk to y'all later. The Camo Christian signing off. And God bless, and have a great rest of the night.